Week 6 was an asynchronous week, and we covered through the PowerPoint and the readings the different forms of evaluation. So here it is just walking us through the different types of evaluations that we're able to run into. For example, we can see anecdotal records, rating scales, checklists, rubrics, and digital documentations as forms of ways to assess students. For example, we see the utility and benefits of each of these forms of assessment, with anecdotal showing brief records of which describe the student's behavior and context of the lesson occurring, what they're able to take from it, and how they're able to interact with the material or through classroom like independent work. Through rating scales, we're able to provide a scale between 1 and 10, for example, of just how well they are doing and what characteristics they show that would provide them between what is described as a 0 and what is described as a 10 or the highest number. For a checklist, we are creating clear criteria in which we are looking for within assessment what is here and what isn't, is determining what gets checked off and what doesn't. And finally, rubrics, which we've spoken about before, just providing clear examples and points into what categories we are looking for example, knowledge and understanding, thinking, communication and application, and also what we can see from students that will hit that level 3, and then also what they can do to exceed expectations and hit that level 4 and always strive to do better. This is something that is extremely good to know, understanding what different situations call for which. For example, within a project, I would do a mix of a rubric and a checklist, giving students a checklist of this is what needs to be in the project if they're creating something, but also giving a rubric of like, yep, it is here, but how is it here? Why is it here? What purpose does it serve? How are you answering these questions given about this assignment? And how we can document students as well within their work through anecdotal records, making sure that we have documentation, pedagogical documentation to see where students are excelling, what their learning habits are, and knowing them better so we can cater more lessons to them and they're able to excel within the classrooms. I as well through this week was able to do something very valuable, which is creating a mid-course reflection. We talk about assessment a lot within this class, and making sure that we're able to accurately and informatively assess ourselves is super important. I was basing myself and giving very realistic and honest expectations to myself, while also praising myself in the places where I did good and acknowledging where I need to do better. This is seen below in this page, and it is something I very much so can vouch as something I have stayed with and tried my best to exceed where I was from this midpoint evaluation.